Hey everyone, if you're standing here wondering whether dropping serious cash on the Neumann TLM 107 is really going to move the needle for your recordings, or if you're just going to end up with another overpriced piece of gear collecting dust, you are not alone. The truth is, buying a top-tier condenser MIC isn't like picking up a pair of headphones or a USB MIC where the differences are obvious right away. This is a long-term investment, and the wrong choice can haunt you in ways that aren't always clear until you're deep into a session. So let's cut through the hype and talk about what this MIC actually delivers in real life, who it's really for, and where the value actually comes from. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Now, the TLM 107 isn't Neumann's flagship, that's the U87, but it's often called the baby U87 for a reason. It's a large diaphragm condenser with 5 polar patterns: cardioid, wide cardioid, figure 8, omnidirectional, and supercardioid. That's a lot of flexibility, especially if you're recording multiple sources or working in untreated spaces. But here's the thing, just because it can do 5 patterns doesn't mean you'll use them all. Most people stick with cardioid for vocals, acoustic instruments, or podcasting, and maybe figure 8 for stereo pairs or room ambience. The supercardioid is niche, it's tighter but also more prone to proximity effect and off-axis coloration. So unless you're doing something like MICing a kick drum from a distance or isolating a specific source in a live room, you might never touch it. That's not a flaw, it's just reality. The MIC gives you options, but the value is in the ones you actually use. Then there's the Highpass filter and pad. The 3-position Highpass filter is a lifesaver in untreated rooms or when recording close-mic'd sources like vocals or acoustic guitars. Rolling off below 80 Hz or 160 Hz can clean up plosives, rumble, and that muddy low-end buildup that makes your mix harder to work with. The pad switchable at 0 dB, -10 dB, and -20 dB is useful if you're recording loud sources like snare drums, brass, or close-mic'd amplifiers. But here's the catch, if you're using this in a home studio with a modest audio interface, you might not even need the pad. Most modern interfaces have input pads, and if you're recording at moderate levels, you're probably fine without it. The pad becomes more relevant if you're using a preamp with lower headroom or if you're pushing the gain hard on a quiet source. So think about your setup before assuming you need it. Now, let's talk about the sound. The TLM 107 has this smooth, open top end with a slight presence boost around 10 kHz that gives vocals and acoustic instruments a natural lift without sounding harsh. It's not hyped or exaggerated like some modern mics that try to sound radio-ready straight out of the box. Instead, it feels transparent, like it's just capturing what's in front of it without coloring too much. That's great for vocals, spoken word, or acoustic instruments where you want clarity and detail without the MIC imposing its personality. But if you're looking for a MIC with a strong character, something that adds warmth, thickness, or a vintage vibe, the TLM 107 might feel a little too neutral. It's not a MIC that's going to make your voice sound bigger or your guitar sound warmer. It's more about accuracy than flavor. Where this MIC really shines is in professional or semi-professional setups where you need reliability and consistency. If you're recording vocals every day, doing voiceovers, or tracking instruments in a treated room, the TLM 107 is going to give you predictable results session after session. It's not as sensitive to room acoustics as some mics, which means you can get usable takes even in less than ideal spaces. And this is important if you're working in a noisy environment, like a home office with a fridge hum or a bedroom near a street, the TLM 107's sensitivity is going to pick up every little detail. That's not a MIC issue, it's just the nature of large diaphragm condensers. You'll need to treat the space or use noise reduction in post, which can affect the sound. So who should buy this MIC? If you're serious about recording, whether it's vocals, acoustic instruments, podcasting, or voice acting, and you have at least a modest audio interface with decent preamps, the TLM 107 is a solid investment. It's going to give you professional-grade results without the price tag of Neumann's top-tier models. It's also a great choice if you want a MIC that can grow with you. Maybe you start with vocals and later add acoustic guitar or room mics for drums. The 5 polar patterns and flexible EQ options make it adaptable. Who should skip it? If you're just starting out and your budget is tight, there are cheaper mics that